The following is a fan-based discussion. All materials discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, and Saban Entertainment.
Hi!
Hello! Welcome back to the Tokucast.
Welcome back to In Comparison, Episode 2, Dairanger versus Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Season 2.
Yep. And with this video, we're really just going to talk about what they actually took from Dairanger, which isn't a lot.
Nope.
Because they kept the suits from the original, they kept the plot, so there's really not... So we're just going to talk about what actually came from Dairanger.
Basically what they ended up just, because... For some reason, Saban thought that if kids ended up seeing that there was an entirely new suit, that they wouldn't recognize this as Power Rangers, so they never brought over those the Dairanger suits except
for the White Ranger.
For this season and as a whole. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into these characters really quickly. So we have Rocky and Rio.
Rio is better.
Well, I mean, Rocky, I don't... the thing is with Steve Cardenas, I don't really remember a lot about his character. I remember he came in after, of course, Jason left.
For the peace conference.
Yeah.
From which he never returned.
Yeah, he did.
He returned a couple times.
But...
For team ups and stuff.
But yeah, it's he was Rocky was fine, don't get me wrong. It's just there wasn't really a lot of depth to his character.
I liked Adam.
We'll get to that. So, just going down the list, because we have Daigo and Adam.
I like Adam better.
Yeah.
And that's not even because it's not even just because I like Johnny on Bosch.
It's mostly because
I'd say they're both the same.
Yeah, but I like Johnny and Bosch just a little bit better because of what he came back in space as a mentor character.
Mm-hmm. That was cool.
I think that gave him more of
vindication.
It gave him a little bit more vindication. Daigo was a very stoic character. They had some hilarious moments in the show, but it's I really remember
Kujaku!
We will always have Kujaku.
It's Adam had other things that more focused on his character.
Like
not
a
that
frog.
much, though. That's in the movie.
That's season 3.
I know, but still.
I'm a frog. Are we going to review that movie?
We should.
Eventually.
Yeah.
It was fun. I like both of the characters, but I'm willing to having to give it up to Adam just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I feel like his character actually had more of a fleshed out character than Daigo did, except being stoic or being in love with Kujaku or animals or something like that. Shoji and Billy.
Still like Billy.
I'm still a much bigger fan of Shoji.
Shoji's funny.
I prefer the Sentai for this one.
Shoji's funny, but But I like Billy because we've been getting that growth from him. That's different. We've been seeing this growth. He's come so far from the other to take off his glasses before he started fighting. So I like watching that growth. So I would kind of put him on the same par, but I love Billy until
reasons.
Yeah,
we'll get to that.
But anyway,
so we have Aisha and Kazu.
I like Aisha.
Aisha was just fun.
Everyone loves Aisha.
Aisha was great. Kiss and make up.
From the movie.
Yeah. But I really liked Aisha just as a whole. Kazu, as we said in the Dairanger, really didn't have a lot to his character that didn't really tie him with his Lover Forever cameo. But Aisha just had a lot of things that really had going on for her as a character by herself. She had a lot of attitude, and she brought a lot that Trini didn't really bring to the table as much.
Now, Kimberly /
Kat and Lynn.
Fair enough. Mm-hmm. That's right. This is when they made the transition. Kind of like Lynn better. But,
so do I.
Yeah.
I don't remember Kat that much, and Kimberly was still oh my god.
We get Kat more in Zio, of course, throughout season 3. But I don't really remember that much. As you said, Kimberly was much more the Valley Girl. But Kat we don't really get a lot from her. Was it this season that she was in, or was it season 3? It was one of the 2 seasons. But she doesn't really end up doing much because she came in so late. And Kimberly was, of course, basically still Tommy's love interest until she ended up leaving.
And then wrote the Dear John.
But we will never forget.
Nope.
Dear John from Florida, by the way.
Anyway, now we get to the one that we really care about. Tommy as being transitioned from the Green Ranger to the White Ranger versus Ko. Ko is a little shit, so we like Tommy better.
Yeah.
We all in agreement on this one? Good. You can never beat Jason David Frank, period.
It's he had a lot of character development going from
The only reason he will ever lose him in comparison is probably in Dino Thunder, where he was barely there.
Reasons for that.
Well, yeah.
We'll explain that later.
But let's see. Zordon versus Master Kaku.
Master Kaku.
Yeah.
Is that even a comparison?
Master Kaku was just so good.
I mean, Zordon. We're not saying Zordon's a bad mentor. We're not. As we've said, we preferred Zordon in the last in comparison.
I didn't.
You put him on equal footing, I believe?
No, I thought Bandora was better.
Oh.
I mean, what's his name? Barza. Sorry.
Bandora was better. Anyway.
Was better, though.
But you gotta give it to Master Kaku on this one.
Yeah, Master Kaku was just like, he had a lot of things going for him. He was a legitimate mentor. When they messed up, he let them know that they messed up. Zordon was much more...
At least I think I did. I don't know.
He was much more just a head in the tube. So there wasn't really much that we can do. We didn't get a side character, so we had nobody to compare Alpha to. But
thank goodness.
In terms
it's almost like the focus of a Super Sentai should be the Super Sentai.
Yeah. In terms of the actual villains for this one, let's not do Gorma 15, but Shadam versus Zed.
That's actually a good one. If you're talking about early Lord Zed, when he was first introduced,
before he got married to Rita,
before the marriage, that whole fiasco, when they tried to tone him down, I'm going to go with early Zed.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with
early Zed was
over
kind
this.
of terrifying.
He really was.
He was pretty badass.
Like Shadam got more terrifying towards the end after he killed Akamaru. So
it's the reverse.
Yeah. It's like
one got better as towards the end, the other one just got worse.
When Shadam was introduced, he kind of seemed like that butch general that no one took seriously because he was an airhead. Yeah. But Zed was
terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but it's like after
the old enemy of all that was sworn and good and decent.
But after Shadam got after Akamaru got introduced and he killed Akamaru, it's just like you became just really, really out there because. As we saw, he got more insane as the show went on. It's like he had no holds barred. You legitimately just killed your kid. Mm-hmm. So, I mean...
I'll take Akamaru over any of the other villains that we had in Season 2.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Akamaru was great. Gara versus... I guess we could put her against Rita.
Gara.
Yeah.
I thought she was better.
Gara. Rita's on a slippery slope.
Rita's annoying.
Because they had no more footage for her, so they had to bring in a whole new actress after they gave her a makeover. And... yeah, it's just like Gar had a lot more plans that were more terrifying. Not to mention she had like a legitimate connection to to somebody else on the Dairanger side.
Right.
With Rita, it's like she had the whole thing with Zordon at the very beginning, but that got pushed to the side really hard. So it's like that didn't really end up going anywhere, and we don't really end up getting much on that anymore until in space.
What about the change in Zords? Because I'm trying to remember where the Thunder Zords really came from.
At the end of season 1, it's like they got damaged and thrown basically into the Earth's core, and when they end up coming out...
doesn't the way that it works, if I remember with Power Rangers, that they do the poses and say the Zord, and then you watch the old Zord get hit with lightning and then turn into the new one, which was weird, and I was trying to remember where that came from.
Like,
I don't even remember that.
They were the Thunder Zords,
and
it makes sense because they get hit with lightning, but... it's like
magic lightning.
Yeah, it's like not much ends up.
Maybe they said Shazam.
Not much really ends up getting, really done with them as a whole. Like there's not really a lot of explanation as to why they end up coming in, at least from what I remember. But going into that, it's just like overall themes is season 2 was much more of a build up to what we got in season 3 because it's like at that point. Things really started to end up changing a lot more in season 3 and you get like the ninja powers and everything.
Yeah, and season 2 was just that awkward transition phase, but it still gave us the White Ranger, which
it gave us Serpentera. Now, Daijin Ryu was
better.
He was an autonomous being for one, and Serpentera was just something that was created by Lord Zed.
It's like a counteraction to the Zords,
and he was huge, but he took a lot of power. And a little while they just couldn't.
Because it ran on AAA batteries.
Might as well. I mean, they couldn't really do a lot with.
And then they brought him back in the Forever Red thing,
and they killed it immediately
with
a bike. And let's not forget that Forever Red also gave us the big bad Beetleborgs back as villains.
Yay!
Yeah, we'll talk about them later. And I really hope at some point we can find those particular like Metal Heroes series subbed because I sort of want to watch them.
Yeah. Didn't we watch the first episode? One of them back in college.
We watched the first episode of Beetleborgs.
Yeah,
what became Beetleborgs.
We did. It was actually pretty good too. I liked it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Anyway, we are really bad at these tangents.
But it's just like
there's really nothing else to compare though.
Yeah,
because they took very little from Dairanger until Super Megaforce. Should we talk about that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Let's do it.
No. We'll say that for Super Megaforce. So it's just like we don't really end up having a lot of things.
That's so far away.
Especially with Serpentera as a whole. They basically end up using it to get away from the Machine Empire when they first attack at the beginning of Zeo.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, then it's lost on the moon after a little bit, but it's just...
I don't know how you lose a dragon that big. But.
Yeah, with Serpentera, they legitimately had... It took up too much power.
Walk out. Where the fuck? I left it right here!
It's not Wonder Woman parking the invisible jet. I mean, it's a little harder to lose.
I mean, it's the size of everything.
Yeah.
So,
at once.
Yeah, but
it's the size of everything at once.
But it's really big. It's just there wasn't really much that they could really do with season 2, especially as we said in the episode 1 of In Comparison. It's a lot harder to do this up until we get to Zeo,
where they just start actually, adapting the new suits and everything. Not to mention how much harder it was to probably film season 2 and season 3 because they
had to pay so much more because they had to make new footage with the Zeo Ranger suits.
Mm.
So it's just like a lot of things got left behind. A lot of plot points didn't really get translated over as well. The whole thing, even though we don't like them with
not a single villain from Dairanger made it.
Mm. It's like the monster of the week.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
But it's like legitimately nothing else did from this show. And that's a little bit disappointing, but I understand why they did that because they had a lot of human actors in this show. So there wasn't really nearly as much that they could possibly do.
And not to mention, this is something that was just getting started to be like people are like, oh my god, people really like Power Rangers. We shouldn't change everything,
which they would have had to do.
Yeah. So I understand the choice to keep the suits that they're used to seeing, keep the villains that they're used to seeing, maybe adding some new stuff, adding some new actors, but then they did it again for another season.
Yeah. And they did it for a good portion of the season up until the last 10 episodes. And we'll talk about that when we end up doing our Kaku Ranger review.
But that is In Comparison episode 2. It's a short one, but there's really not a lot to compare, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's a lot harder. I can't wait until we get to O-Ranger so we can actually have a review.
Again. But thanks for joining the Tokucast, everybody. We will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.